everybody, I'm Liz, and it is May 1st. So I have for you today my April wrap-up and the books I will be reading in May. The first book I finished was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I did a reread because I watched the Netflix TV show and I wanted to make comparisons and do a really big discussion video for it. I still love the book itself and I really gained a lot of new ideas and new thoughts as I was doing my reread. However, I did a speed reread, so that means I got jumbled up a couple times with the format because you have the present day in typical font and then you have Hannah's voice on the tapes in italicized font. So if you're doing a speed read, you have to be very careful when you do that and pay attention to the fonts, otherwise you get confused. But anyway, I still love the story. It's, you know, one of my favorite reads, and rereading it really didn't change my opinion. So it is keeping its 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I finished, drumroll please, is The Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And oh my gosh, guys, this book was so fantastic. Not only was it so heart-wrenching and things happen that make you want to cry and sob, and I'm sitting on the train reading and trying not to cry in public, but I'm also so grateful for how it ended. So, like with Six of Crows, this book took me quite a long time to read, and apart from Six of Crows, I did get a little confused with a few sections where I had to go back and refresh, but it still didn't distract from the story because I still absolutely loved everything about it. I loved the representation, I loved the diversity, I loved the plot, and you know, I just love Leigh Bardugo's writing. So obviously, because I'm gushing so much, this is also a 5 out of 5. The next book I finished was Spyglass, which is the third and final book in the Stormglass series by Maria V. Snyder, which means I can move on and finally read Shadow Study. And I'm so excited because I have to say there might be a continuity issue. The way it concludes and then the way Shadow Study picked up when I read the first 100 pages, there is something that doesn't quite match up. So when I read Shadow Study, I'm going to see if that's still there because it's very, very interesting. And so if you know what I'm talking about, if you've read the Stormglass series and the first book of Shadow Study, let me know down below if you caught it as well. If not, then maybe it's all on me. Anyway, so Spyglass wasn't as good as the second book was for this series. It was just kind of okay. The ending didn't exactly wrap up the way I wanted it to. I didn't exactly like it in a sense because I felt like the person Opal ends up with by the end of the book is not my choice. But again, it's Maria V. Snyder's writing and she can do whatever she wants. So I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5. And those are the books that I read because it was April, which meant finals. I still have one more final left, and that is a paper that I'm going to be writing as soon as I post this video. So we're gonna talk about the books I plan on reading in May. The first book I plan on reading in May, which I am currently reading and I am about halfway through already, is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons. I picked this book up because I heard some fairly good things about it, and my Nook app was doing a sale, so I got it for $3. And let's just say, guys, I am not impressed. I am actually only reading at it to laugh at it right now, which I know is completely horrible anyway. If you don't know what the Bronze Horseman is about, it is a historical fiction romance taking place during World War II in Russia, which is great because I've never actually read a book that takes place in Russia, so I was very interested about the story. I just don't know if I like the plot trope things that are happening in this story, and sometimes the dialogue is just a little laughable, but I'm going to read it until I feel like it is not enjoyable anymore. Another book that I'm currently reading is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Mistborn trilogy, and I know last month I read about 50 pages of it, but I had to reread it because I was waiting for the audiobook. And now I am about 85 pages into it. I'm still super excited to finish this trilogy and see all of the escapades of Vin and Elend Venture. So I'm just really excited to see how all of the plots and the villains and everything get all wrapped up and concluded in this book. The third book I plan on reading in May is Emerald Green by Kristen Gear, and I have had it checked out for several weeks and I'm only about 20 pages into it. I feel like I've forgotten a lot from Sapphire Blue, but I hope that the more I read, the more I'm going to remember things, and we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people are very disappointed with the ending of this book, so I'm really excited to see what my own opinions are as I am reading. The fourth book, if I make it that far, that I plan on reading in May is my winner of my video that I posted a couple weeks ago asking you all to pick my summer book. And that is going to be A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Most of y'all wanted me to read this book. I mean, I only got a couple comments, so if you want to watch that video and tell me your own opinions, go for it. I have 10 options and then plus your own recommendations for me, because this summer I plan on getting some reading done. I don't know if it's gonna happen with my schedule, but I'm gonna try. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments down below what are some of your favorite books that you read in April, and I hope you guys stick around. Goodbye!